Within a 24-hour period, I can now function with level head, with clarity, with confidence if I'm not doing something physical. I'm just speaking from my experience. But I don't think I'm any different than any human being. I'm just honest. I think humans today in this world, they've just lost self-belief in something that is just fundamentally a fact. If we're not moving, we're not going to be as happy, strong, and healthy for the rest of our life. It's like an on and off switch. We just decided. There have been moments in my life, time periods, where I was not exercising and moving. And there was a direct correlation to having a negative, dark lifestyle. A lot of it came out of my teenage life. I lived in Dubai for a certain period of times. Now, you hear about Dubai being opulent and large and have all these fancy buildings. But it doesn't matter how much fancy buildings, fancy cars, mansions, boats you're on. If you're not comfortable within your own skin, if you're not active, all that material shit feels like shit, because within our hearts we feel like shit. So everything else around us outside of our skin feels like total shit. I understood that from as a child. Yes, I went through my hormones during those time periods as a kid, around ages of 14, 15, 16. I remember how it felt. It was weird. It was confusing. There was a lot of weird thoughts that went through my head. How I just was hideous and disgusting. I did not like how I felt. I was getting A's in school. I was doing everything on paper that I'm supposed to, and it just didn't feel right. I'm not against school in many aspects. There's many aspects of school from great teachers that we learned that influence us in a positive manner. But I just remember it wasn't, I had to figure what was going on. This was the most important thing for me. I just wanted to be able to attract a girl, a hot wife, a hot girlfriend, enjoy my skin, enjoy just walking down the street, not feeling like I'm a pushover, a loser. That was the most fundamental thing, and I wanted to figure that out. So when I went through my high school era, I was a giant PC nerd. It was just too hot to go outside. Dubai's way too humid during the summer to even be outside, and we weren't in a financial situation for us to go out all the time, every day, every weekend. It was tough during a period of time. I mean, my father, he's provided for us in many ways, best education that he can find. But we were tied in many other aspects of things that he did not see as a priority, which was right. But I understood the importance of being active. But I stopped playing sports, I stopped playing ice hockey, and during that time period, I just didn't feel right. I just knew there's a direct correlation between my activity level and how I felt within my own skin. Then when I found the gym, I realized it was building me up. I felt more like a man. I felt like I had balls between my legs. I felt like confident again. The bullying stopped, the self-respect was gained. The self-image improved, felt attracted. I didn't feel like I had to chase girls anymore. They came to me. That was one of the best feelings ever. All the girls I wanted, in the end of the day, I went after. And they came to me, vice versa. And there's just this equal positive feelings. So my reality has shifted. And also guys that I quote-unquote always admire to, I put them on a pedestal to some degree. I was just like, man, these guys are fucking studs. I became that guy. I understand how to be lean and strong and be that presence. When I learned how to tap into that, I realized it was the hard work and the feeling. Don't get me wrong, the physical attributes are very important. But then I realized I fell in love with the process of just going to the gym, because it was all those hard days, those dark days which I didn't understand what the fuck was happening with me, days I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. But as I went to the gym every day and I tapped into a growth mindset, I began to understand from a very deep level what I truly am, what I want to do with my life. Outside noise was gone. All those chatters and chitters were gone. I was just grounded and emotionally set and had 100% clarity in terms of how to operate throughout my day. But obviously with social beliefs and conventional wisdoms like smoking, drinking, partying, vacation time, family time, a lot of different cultural things too, how to operate, you kind of slip back into negativity and realize these are just bad habits, bad mindsets, which every culture, every society, every system has a form of. Humans are flawed, so the rules they set on each other is somewhat flawed. But there's universal truths, things that are just deep within us: honesty, integrity, being loyal, keeping our word, all those small little details, which seem small, but it's very deep, fundamental. It builds character. And when I realized by just building myself up physically and just cleaning my nutrition, just being happy, strong, and healthy, by doing something physically hard and overcoming and building myself up into be a really lean and strong person. I hate using the word athlete, but I'm going to use the word athlete because that's a label. Just a warrior to some degree. I felt right. It just made sense to me. Humans used to hunt and gather. We don't gather anymore. If anything, the food we gather is too much junk. I'm not against it, but I mean, like, just from a fundamental standpoint. And we're not hunting. We're not actively going and getting something. We're not fighting anything. So we're not fighting anything. We're not challenging ourselves. We're not going to war. We're not building ourselves up. It just comes out in a dark, weird, emotional way. This is the truth. I just know from a fact, from my own experience, because I'm no different than any other human beings. I'm not special. If a human being is not active every single day, I can guarantee I am 100% positive, and I can guarantee you there is some kind of emotional baggage, turmoil, instability that is occurring throughout the day, insecurities which occur. 100%. I'm no different. Because when I don't stop training for 3 days, I can feel my mind slipping, my energy slipping, my perception of reality slipping. Everything just gets weird and dark. But then I can imagine, because based on how people speak, what happens when you don't do it for a year, 2 years, 3, 10, and it just gets into this really dark web. I went to school just to learn about kinesiology, about human movement. I learned human movement from a scientific standpoint. And I also learned how to build a physique, because I truly believe warriors are God's children, because they're willing to fight for something they believe in. And if you believe in yourself, willing to fight for yourself, whatever path we choose will be given some kind of level of positivity and gratitude just in that day. The one thing I learned as I went through my process in life and I started taking martial arts, the one thing you feel that you, after a good, for example, BJJ or roll session, is something which I've also learned about, and I don't like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I've learned to appreciate what I learn out of it, is after a grind, even wrestling, after a grind session, you're so fucking calm and relaxed. Nothing. You can just have absolutely fucking nothing in life. You would not trade anything just to get that feeling. That feeling beats any material things. You just want to sit outside and just relax. Now, if I can tap into that state every single fucking day, why wouldn't I not? This is what I'm trying to promote. Who doesn't want that? And yes, the confidence with that body you get, all that stuff is 100% true. But it's a cherry on top. If your foundation is shit, then the cherry's gonna be on a top pile of shit. If the foundation is right, you're gonna enjoy that fucking cherry. Fuck. Remember, the cherry is on top of the ice cream. Get the right ice cream. Build it right. It's not hard. Once you understand macros, I keep saying this 1,000 times. I spent about $4,000 in nutrition coaching. Even with a university degree, I paid $4,000 out of my own money to learn from the best coaches around the world. They're also the same thing. I asked him, what's the fanciest blood tests out there? What is DNA tests? I want to create a high performance package for my clients. I want to know. I want to do it myself. What are the rich people doing? He just laughed. He said macros. I'm like, fuck. He's like, if once you have your macros right, if there's complications, then we bring out the DNA test. Yeah, then we bring the blood test. Then we bring all these fancy things. But just understanding nutrition on a very high level, which is macros. It's not a label. It's not carnivore, omnivore, any of that stuff. When you get that understanding macros for yourself and understand how to operate for you, it's actually pretty fucking easy. And then just being lean and strong, working aerobic and anaerobic system every fucking day. When you improve those two, you're gonna feel pretty youthful. You're gonna tap into the growth state. And when you just do it every single day, your stress levels are just calm. And the problem with most people is they don't have time to exercise. And they don't realize that everybody has time to exercise. Just that negativity is that emotional baggage is just too heavy. It just feels like it's a lot of weight. It feels like it's gonna take so much time to deal with. And there's always like an outside stress which is bothering us. But what people are fucking up is because they're not tackling this stress, or because they're not grounding their emotions, they keep going down this rabbit hole of always finding something to stress about. That's why I don't believe anybody, because they say they don't have time to train. They're stressed, they're emotional, up and down. It's just like, dude, you don't have no self-respect. That's basically what it is. It really comes down to that. You have no self-respect to deal with it. You don't want to be accountable and have a pair of balls and do something about it. I'm harder up with men versus females, because females understand. But even then, it's just like, do you really want to bring that shitty attitude to a guy? Like, is that wise? Is that smart? Like, it's not. So like, your body that you dream of, it really comes down to being able to really focus on your mental health. And when you focus on that, you have the ability to just ground your emotions, and everyone goes through a dark path to some degree. When you realize, oh shit, I'm in control of my emotional state. I can control how I feel about myself. I can feel confident about myself. I can raise my self-belief. I can take out all the negativity, all the self-doubt, all the self-hate, all the frustration, anger, irritation, all that shit can go away. Yeah, fuck. What we're most insecure about will be healed through human movement from an emotional standpoint. What I mean by that is whatever emotional state, negative state that we're in, when we put ourselves in a higher frequency state, an energetic state, it nullifies any of that feeling. So if we're the kind of guy that gets emotional with girls, you get frustrated and irritated, guess what? That gets calmed down. If we're the kind of person that we need to be more aggressive and be more but because we're always in a state of fear, that will be calmed down. You'll learn to be more assertive. If you're always irritating quickly to kind of like jump and react and be too aggressive, that'll be controlled. It works both ends of the spectrum, because what happens if we're emotional, we become a rock, stable. That's why you never see any powerlifters, Olympic lifters, any of those strong people, physically strong people, doing some crazy, heinous acts. It's always a weak-looking motherfucker. It is what it is. And if you look at, for example, porn, I've seen a lot of porn videos. There's not really a lot of them. If you look at some fitness, strong females, I'm not talking about butch, I'm just saying just strong females, very rarely do you ever see them doing porn. And it's never really the darkest weird. There's outliers to every case, but you just see it. A lot of females won't lose that, because if you're fit and strong, you won't need to go down that path. Anyways, that's just a bit of a rant, just to give you some mental, I guess, clarity and you can call it focus. When you're able to focus on all the right reasons to train, I fucking promise you, commit every single fucking day. The one thing I can guarantee for a fucking fact is your life will be better every single hour of the day when you train. When you don't train, your hours will get worse. I've never met a person who said, I'm going to stop exercising, and because I stopped exercising, my life got a lot better. Never heard anybody say that. I've never even heard anybody say, hey man, you know what? Because I started later, it was actually a wiser idea. I'm happy I waited to start training. Because like I said before, when we start training, the thing that we're stressed about grounds our emotions, get through our day, and we will feel good and confident in terms of how we feel. All right, people? I'm out.